Was we live. We are on screen
We're
right
on.
now, boys.
All right. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2 of the Code 3 podcast with Code 3. We're with Jamie,
Hey.
Adam, and myself, Ryan. So, yeah, I hope everyone's doing well on this fine Sunday evening. We will be streaming every fortnight, every Sunday, fortnightly, Australian Eastern Standard Time for those who might be in other countries or other parts of Australia. Yeah, we've had a good weekend. We've had a busy week last week, and
Very busy.
yeah, very busy indeed. And we'll go through that in a moment. Frozen Caterpillar, I love Fortnite. He says, "Good for you, kid. Good for you." Anyway, so going on that, we on Friday we filmed our next short film. We
That's
don't want to
exciting.
say, yeah, we don't want to say too much about it. But you will probably see um, some posts that are relevant to our next film. So we'll slowly unravel it as the weeks progress and as we progress through the edit. But we're really excited. We had a really good time. Really fun. I just want to quickly thank everybody who was involved.
Yeah,
We'll
definitely.
have a list and we'll in the behind the code we make for it when it actually comes out. We'll thank everybody individually. But yeah, we just wanted to quickly go over what we've been doing and thank everyone for that. Yeah. Other than that, we've been having a relaxing Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was a quite I wouldn't say stressful. It was a fun, stressful 2 weeks building up towards the short film.
and it was a pretty long day Friday as well. We shot
Yeah.
from about 11. We got there about
Yeah,
9:30
around that. Yeah.
on set, and then where the first shot was scheduled for 11:30. So we pretty much were going from, we'll say, 11:30 to about 7:30, 8.
Yeah.
I think the last shot was about 8 p.m. So we went for pretty much the entire day, and
Yeah.
it was a fairly long day. But we'll go into the behind the scenes and stuff
Mm.
when the actual video comes out. But we wanted to just give an update on where we're at with our short films, because I know a lot of people are probably waiting for the next one, and we mentioned it in the episode 1 of the podcast that we were making it. So yeah, you'll see more about that soon.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, welcome to the podcast. We've got a few topics to go over, and we're going to start with a continuation from one of our topics in episode 1, which was Child's Play
Uh,
2019.
yes. It's gonna get heated in here, boys.
We gave our thoughts and opinions on it before we had seen it.
Mm.
We all saw it over the weekend last week. I think I saw
Yeah.
it Thursday night. So we haven't really had time to discuss it or really give any opinions yet. So we're all hearing mostly
Yeah.
our opinions for the first time. You guys did mention it a little bit
Yeah. Me,
when
me and Adam have had a few arguments over the kitchen about what we think. But yeah.
but yeah, so we'll start then with your opinion, Jamie, on Child's Play 2019.
Okay.
Did you
I'm,
like it? Did you not?
I'm gonna try and not come off totally biased and hate,
This will
but
be spoiler free as well for the most part, so
okay,
we'll
I'll try.
avoid talking about plot points and things like that if we can. But
Yeah,
if we have,
first time.
yeah, go.
It's the first time trying to dodge spoilers, so forgive me if something slips. You've been warned.
You've been warned.
Please
This
don't
is a spoiler
unsubscribe.
free.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
This is a spoiler free review, but if you do spoil it, you've been warned.
We lose all our viewers. Um. So, yeah, I tried to come in as open-minded and trying to like it as much as possible, but I knew straight away when I sat down at the cinema and saw the opening, like 10, 20 minutes, it set a certain tone that I didn't like where it was going, character-wise with Chucky. I think overall I was fairly disappointed. I'm gonna say it. I was fairly disappointed leaving the cinema. I think I was expecting a certain level of child's play that had been taken from the originals, and I felt like it lacked personality, it lacked character. I could understand where some of the fun elements came in, but overall it was kind of just a generic, disappointing film. And I think it could have benefited not being a child's play film, just being something completely different. And I think that's where it mainly shot itself in the foot, was trying to be something that it couldn't be. It's like I said on our Facebook group immediately after I finished that I felt like it was the same thing that happened with Nightmare on Elm Street, where it's trying to replicate this very unique personality. Well, it's not in this case. It's not really trying to replicate it, but it's taking something so iconic and redoing it, and it just didn't click with me. And for that, it just I don't know. I was disappointed.
There, he said it. He's disappointed. Are we surprised?
No,
No.
it shouldn't be.
What did you think of it, Adam?
When I came out of the cinema, um, I kind of just I tend to always try and think like, how do I feel after watching it? And I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was a terrible, shitty film. Um, and me and Jamie talked for quite a bit on the tram. Like I was really trying to think about what I want to rate this film.
And we came into the house still arguing about it. Our parents told us to shut up because we were arguing for so long.
Yeah, but like I was trying to think of a score to give it, and I ended up with a 6.5, which was a B minus.
Mm.
The things that I liked about it were I liked the score, the music,
Yeah, that
especially
was
the
good.
start of the film. I was really excited once they had like that typical kind of over the top child horror music going on, and that was kind of
Mm.
cool. Um, the acting was pretty good for the most part. Um, I liked the visuals. Um, I kind of liked the solid colors that they were using. It was kind of 80s like. Um,
Mm.
but overall, I think the main issue for me is the same with everyone else. It was the Chucky that was in the film just wasn't Chucky. It lacked so much character. Like there's moments in the film where you feel for the villain.
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
and you shouldn't really be doing that. You know, like this thing is meant to be, um, it's meant to be a scary villain, and to be able to have emotion for it can be good, but I don't think it worked very well in this, because it didn't make him scary or anything like that. Um, I think overall, like the film was fun. It definitely had a lot of problems. Um, and the main one for me is the fact that Chucky lacked personality. Um, there's a lot more things I can go
Yeah.
into, but we'll probably go
That
into it.
was like the main blaring thing is that Chucky was so dull.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
I
they
agree.
maybe if they like, I always think if they had the original Chucky in this film, would it be good or better?
Yes.
Probably.
Probably.
What about you, Ron? What do you think?
I agree with pretty much everything you said. The f- Especially with your comment on the opening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
I
I'm sure we can
don't,
go into the opening. Like, that's not.
yeah. Well, if
I
you've
don't know.
seen the original, this isn't really a spoiler because
It's
if
the
you've
beginning, like
seen the
10.
trailer, you know that
Yeah,
you know about the like the tech company and stuff, and it's so bad that spoiling it is nothing. There's nothing really
yeah,
gained from not spoiling it.
yeah.
But it basically it is so bad that I was actually kind of excited for the movie, and then that I was like, oh, I wonder how they're gonna change it from
Mm,
the original guy being an actual person, because we knew
Yeah.
that it was going to be like a smart doll and stuff like that, and I
Mm.
kind of guessed it was going to be either a virus type thing with the technology or the technology malfunctions somehow. And the way they did it is probably the worst way I've possible. That's the worst route they could have done. It makes almost no sense.
Yeah. It's like,
And
how
it was
easy was that to
I know. I
flick
was
a switch
what
and
the
all of a
fuck?
sudden
It was
it's
Yeah.
just
evil?
a kill switch. That's all it
Yeah.
was. And he did it in 2 seconds because the guy made fun of him.
Yeah. His boss had a go at him, so he's like, all right, I'm just gonna turn this and kill some people with it.
It was about, I'd say it's maybe about what, a minute and a half, 2 minute sequence of this
Oh
guy
yeah.
at his workstation at the factory, and Chucky has an Apple Watch next, please. Yeah, they should do that next. It pretty much was just the guy, one of the workers at a factory, I think it was Vietnam or something, where they make these manufacture these dolls, and his boss or the floor manager or something was bullying him for to be fair, the guy was sitting there half asleep doing nothing
Yeah.
when the
I mean,
guy
I'm pretty
comes
sure
over.
the boss did go in a bit at him about
He dragged him a little bit. He
Yeah.
did drag him, but he came over and he goes, "You're doing nothing. You're worthless. Like, what the hell?"
yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, he's literally doing nothing right now."
I think there's an easier, better way to approach it.
There's a
But
better way to say that, but
he was doing nothing.
he was doing nothing. So, I mean, the guy wasn't wrong,
Yeah.
but and then just because he got yelled at for not doing his job, which I am assuming the idea is that it's a running thing. This dude, this floor manager's an asshole, and this guy's just had obviously had enough, because directly after he flicks the disable functions on it came up. It literally comes up on the screen: profanity filter.
Yeah.
He clicks one button, disabled.
Off.
Violence filter, disabled.
Yeah.
And all this stuff, and I'm just like, no. It's just gonna learn how to be I just knew what was gonna happen from then on.
Yeah.
They got rid of the personality, like you said. They got rid of the human aspect.
Yeah.
So there was just no humanity in this doll. It was just, I'm going to learn how to be a human.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna learn it wrong. And that's pretty much what happened. And they got rid of all of that. Another thing is how they landed on the doll's name being Chucky.
Yeah, I was just
so
about to go into
stupid.
that.
Oh no.
Yeah. It was so forced, and I was just like, I was laughing in the cinema.
I was
Like,
too.
Adam would look at me, and I'm just grinning, how, why is this happening?
It gets worse.
Man.
It gets the start's bad. It goes like this. This is the projection. We start off on a flat surface, right? The opening happens. We go, oh shit, we're going down.
Yeah.
And then we kind of flatline for a bit when we're introduced to Andy and his mum, Aubrey Plaza. I'm not sure the kid's name, but really good.
Yeah,
Their chemistry together is really good. Andy's really good.
Yeah.
Their acting all around for them two is great. So we kind of flatline out a bit. We're still a little lower than when we started. Then that happens where he gets his name, and it was just a throwaway, oh, Chucky, yeah, remember that movie that you guys all grew up with, or
it was so forced.
It made no sense.
The kid pops it down, and then it's just I'm Chucky, and then it's like, what? It's like,
yeah, but even still, he's like, where did that come from?
Yeah, exactly. Just out of nowhere, the doll glitched, and now he's just calling himself Chucky.
And Andy's like, what's my name? And Andy says, what does he say? Han Solo.
Yeah, some stupid like that.
And then he's like, no, it's actually Chucky. He looks in the camera. I'm like, dude.
I was like, what?
What? What does that have to do with anything?
Winks into the camera.
He honestly may as well have, because at least in the original one, it made sense because it's the guy's nickname in real life when he was a real guy. What was his name in the original? Charles Lee, something Lee?
Lee Ray.
Charles Lee Ray. And his friends call him, his nickname was Chucky.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes sense. This just, how do you go from Han Solo? How does it go from hearing Han Solo to Chucky? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's like,
he might as well have said, no, I'm Chucky from the 1980 horror film of the same name that we're reading.
Yeah, it just didn't. And we talked about how the kids, they have it controls it on the phone, it's things. So you're basically giving a kid a doll that can control the house.
Yeah,
like
essentially.
turning on heating, turning on like lights and
Yeah.
television.
Well,
Doing that to a kid.
to be fair, before we saw it, we had that thought, and I thought that it was going to be an actual house. I thought they were going to be in a legit house, just from the trailers. Like their living room seemed pretty big for it being an apartment,
Oh yeah,
which they live in an apartment. Andy and his mum,
yeah.
which is the same as the original. I think. So yeah, I thought in saying that, I thought there was going to be like a security system for the house, kind of like Purge or something, where they could like lock down their house or some shit. And I thought that was the route they were going to go down. And I was like, that makes no sense for a child's doll to have that capability.
Yeah.
But it seemed like it was really only activated the TV and like a few other electronics. Like it didn't really seem like it did much.
Well, Frozen brought up a point. They should have just done a rogue learning AI that learns the wrong thing somehow, witnesses a murder in the factory or some shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, essentially that's what happened,
yeah.
except the guy flicked the bloody kill switch on it. So
Yeah.
I agree. If they had have just done that where it just happened, I honestly reckon I thought a virus would be bad. I didn't think they could get a worse opening, and then
Yeah.
they somehow did. So
The
they
Mad
even
Tinkerer freaking turns it all
the
evil.
Mad Tinkerer essentially, yeah. It was straight out of a comic, but with no superheroes. So weird. Yeah, a virus. And literally anything besides what they did. But that guy, like, yeah. Other than that, it starts to. I didn't mind the second act of it being his friend, because we didn't really. That's it is in the original one a little bit.
Yeah.
But I kind of liked him being like friendly at the start. It's completely different to Child's Play. Like Child's Play does it a lot better, where it was like Charles. And also, you brought up, I can't remember, I think it was you, Jamie, or maybe Adam, you brought up the point that in the original, it wasn't a moving doll.
Yeah, it
So
was.
when it does
It
move,
came in exactly. It came into the film just a doll that doesn't move. It's just a doll. And then the scary thing about it is that it begins to move around the house
and you
behind.
don't see it move for
Exactly.
ages.
Yeah. And this one, he's just up straight away, yapping and walking and talking.
Yeah,
And it just takes away from the horror part of it.
it does, because no one is scared that it's moving.
Exactly.
No one cares that it's like, when it was like teleporting, not teleporting, but when, remember the part where it like, he was moving around the house and like scaring the boyfriend behind the, he like looked behind the fridge and he's not there, opens the fridge door again, closes it, and he's like up on the bench. It's like you get a little jump scare from that because the doll's moving, but none of the characters would be surprised that it's moving.
Yeah, exactly.
They'd be like, oh, what the hell, why are you up in my face, like why have you just been running around the house randomly? That's weird. But it's not like
the jump scares in the film in general were just garbage
bad.
as well.
Yeah, it was bad.
And that makes me hate the film even more. It's like we were recently on the couch watching The Nun again. Well, I was watching again. I think it was your first time seeing it.
Yeah.
And it was just constant, like, loud noises just to scare you. And it just makes me hate the film. And I hate to say it, but like, I really wanted to like the film, but it's just the fact that Chucky was so bland. Like, I was waiting for like this screaming, like calling him a bitch with a knife and stabbing it and everything, but like it's tickle time and then a stab.
Yeah. And
bloody
Frozen just also said in the original you get the classic batteries aren't in, like the batteries aren't in it. Yeah. Whereas like if it would be weirder if this doll wasn't moving. If it just stopped working, that would be weirder. That would be like, oh, what's wrong with the thing? It just got rid of all of that, and
the original just set itself up so well to work.
It did. It all makes sense. The writing is really good. I rewatched it after I got home from the cinemas watching this one, and rewatched the original one straight away because I wanted to have like a comparison while it was still fresh. It is so much better writing wise, like the plot wise, like everything just works and makes sense. Like they just cheaped it in this one.
I think like part of it goes back to like the limitations that they might have of trying to release this killer doll in modern times.
Yeah, I get that, but at least be smart about it.
Yeah, they weren't. They didn't
don't
really
know.
execute it
There's better ways
the
to
best
go,
way
I
they could have
think.
done
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, like it would have been pretty hard to do. Maybe they rushed it.
I reckon they should have done the person. I reckon they should have done or at least if they did a smart doll, they could have done something like the Black Mirror thing, like the Ashley O, where they got somebody who's a real person's personality in it,
Yeah.
and then that real person could have flaws or something, and then the AI gets damaged or something, and it starts, instead of being the filtered personality, it goes to this
Comes through.
like this real life could be you could have had this like public figure who at the start of the movie we see is working in collaboration with the good, is it the good guys in this, or is the good guys the original?
The Good
think
Guy
it was
Dolls
just-
is the
Good
Oh,
guy
original.
it's called.
dolls.
Yeah.
What was these
The
whatever the company
Buddies.
was. Oh,
Buddy.
Buddy. It was yeah, it was that guy's name, the CEO guy's name.
Yeah.
It could be like this public figure who's working in with like a collaboration with this tech company to make this doll for like kids. Keep all that in, and then have that, like, I don't know, halfway through the movie you find out that this guy who's this public figure is actually like a psychopath.
Yeah.
And like, you know, in the original you have the news report of like Charles is he's like the guy who left him behind. So that's how he finds out, like, oh, I know where this guy is, like, because he's escaped.
Yeah.
You could have something like that where he's like, the doll's like, I want to like flick the TV back on, and he flicks the TV on and sees his, like, the personality he's based on is like killing, like a murderer or so, whatever it is, and then that like filter in his head, which was already damaged, gets all that, and he's like, oh wait, okay, so I'm actually like a fucking psychopath. And then that way you have a personality. It might not be like as good as Brad Dourif or anything, but it still would have had
It gives you
like,
something.
you could have had any sort of humanity, any sort of personality and like flair to him. Something like, as simple as that could have really like helped it.
I think like I thought I'd never have said this about a Child's Play film, but I think I wanted more CGI Chucky than I did.
Really?
Yeah.
I hated the CGI
Oh,
in
I
this.
was the same as Jamie towards the
No,
end.
the last, I'm
It
not gonna say
looked-
anything, but last 10 minutes, it just had more fun with it being CGI.
They did, but it was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it
Like the
was.
thing is
And
like the old films were able to pull off these flying attacks and things. They were able to pull that off with a doll and animatronics. They had to use CGI in this one. I think that's the only reason why we liked that part. Is
You
not
got
maybe not so much the CGI, but the fact that it resembled the old Chucky a bit more. Instead of
You
it
I
just
didn't
seeing him
like the
walking
end
around.
at all.
didn't you? I was
Nah,
like, please
killed
just
it.
give us something fun. Like, let me enjoy something.
It
And
was fun. It was like just ridiculous, like fun. But I knew they were going to go that route, and I was like, I'd rather it be more grounded. But at this point, I don't really care what they do.
I got like sort of bored, like in the
Yeah.
middle, and I was like, damn, I just want something. And then the end kind of gave it to me. I was like, okay.
The ending kind of
And then
felt
that was
more like
it.
the
Boom.
originals.
10 minutes of fun. Okay, you're done now. Leave. And
Yeah,
I was
I
like, okay.
suppose. I just didn't. I don't want to spoil anything, but I just didn't like how it went. Like really over the top with.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, there was one part where it was just like, I'll just
It gets
say
pretty
the
ridiculous.
Bears was just.
Well, you didn't like that.
Nah, I thought that was just.
I thought that was like that kind of
Stupid.
stupid, silly stuff is like what the original was all about.
But it wasn't though. Not really. Child's Play wasn't that.
Yeah, but
It's
like
not over the top. It's just the only reason why it's like funny and silly is because of the guy.
if you had
He's like,
Chucky,
it's like a doll swearing. That's why it's funny. It's like he's like, "You fucking bitch!"
Yeah.
Like it's just that's the as over top as Child's Play gets. Besides
Yeah.
maybe the like psychiatric hospital stuff.
well, it's kind of like if you were to have Chucky from
Having
the
a doll
originals
baby.
be in the modern times. If the Chucky was able to do that now, he probably would control other freaking.
Whoa!
Oh!
Shit, man.
Delete the VOD.
End the podcast.
I think he would do the same thing if he had that kind of power.
Yeah, it sort of makes sense.
I suppose. I just thought it was just stupid.
I gave it, like, to finish it, I gave it 4 out of 10.
I'd probably give it this maybe 5.
I get a 6.5, and Chris Duckman, my boy, gave it the
Boo.
same.
I give it a 5. I would have given it a 4, but the Texas Chainsaw 2 reference in there
Dude, yeah.
bumped me up 1.
I wanted to tell you about that, but like you hadn't seen it at the time. I was like, hey, I like this. I want to watch this film.
I was the same. I was like, hey, at least they're kind of being respectful to at least one fucking old film.
Yeah.
I actually reckon they're gonna replace Mark Hamill in the next one.
Are they making another one? Is this
I
the thing?
assume so. It's probably made
I don't think
profit.
they will.
I reckon
I
if
kinda
they,
hope not.
I hope they do, and they make a good one. But if
I hope that
if they do,
the
Don
TV show
Mancini
is good.
continues.
I hope
Yeah.
they're both
Brad
good.
I don't- It's tainted.
Like I think they will get rid of Mark Hamill, because I reckon part of the reason why Chucky in this Child's Play, he was very censored, like compared to the
Wait,
original.
I thought you guys, when you guys told me about it, I thought you said he didn't swear.
He didn't really, did he?
He did.
He said like maybe bitch or ass or something like that.
No, he says fuck
Yeah,
at one
I'm pretty
point.
sure he does.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he copies someone. Someone else says it.
Oh,
Like I think when in the park or like basketball
Yeah.
court or something like that.
But he doesn't go off like the original.
nowhere near as bad.
he
as the
pops
original.
off.
I wanted the Brad Dourif
He
pop
pops off.
I guess that's why maybe it felt like that. Is
Yeah,
because
it does
it was
feel like
literally
was
nowhere
censored,
near.
Yeah.
And I
you're
reckon that
right.
was mainly because of probably Mark Hamill. Love Mark
That's why.
Hamill, but
Yeah, true.
Disney's probably made him a bit.
Yeah, they're probably like, hey. By the
Keep
way,
watching.
just imagine Mark Hamill calling somebody like you fucking
Yeah.
bitch, or like imagine how weird that'd be.
Yeah.
But that's another thing too, is like what made Child's Play so good with the personality and the doll is that it's a grown man in a doll. Like you don't expect a doll to be saying those things, whereas in this it felt like it was a kid. Like it felt the doll. When they show like the ad for it on the TV, and it's like it just felt like that still, but it's just gone bad and it's killing people. It didn't feel like I think that's part of the comedy aspect in it is in the original is that it's a fucking like grown man who is just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he lures this kid around and has this like weird friendship almost with this kid. The only reason why he goes after Andy at the end is because it's the only way he can get his body back. If that wasn't a thing, he would have just been like, thanks Andy, and thanks for helping me. Peace. Like he wouldn't have done anything to the kid. He seemed like he had some sort of empathy.
Yeah.
As long as it wasn't in his way.
I think
and that made him a really good character, and they didn't have that in this. It was just, I'm going to be your friend. And then he's like, oh, you're not my friend? Well, I'm going to kill everyone that fucking hates you or is, I'm just like.
It's just like the original works so much better. And like I think the kid being younger worked as well because.
Yeah, it does.
Charles Lee Ray could manipulate the kid like, oh, I'm your friend. And like, obviously when you're that young.
Wouldn't be able to, yeah.
Exactly.
I haven't seen The Cult of Chucky, but Andy's in that, right?
Yeah.
No, he's in all. Like I said to Adam, I'm like, what would you?
He's in most of them, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I'm like, what'd you have more fun watching? The latest Don Mancini, Child's Play. That was The Cult, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I'm going through them all. I'm up to Child's Play 2. So
I had more fun watching that than I did this Child's Play, and that had far less of a budget and everything. It's just because it had more fun. It knows what it is.
I think it's mainly I think when we were talking about it was the main reason why was because of Chucky being Chucky, like the actual.
It's iconic,
character.
Chucky.
It's just a really well written character too.
Yeah.
Like it's simple. He's a simple guy.
Bit so where it's gone, like
It still
direction-wise.
works. It's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, I think once you get there, you'll enjoy it more than this latest one.
The Cult, yeah.
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 But yeah. Feel free to form your own opinion on it. This is only ours.
Yeah.
But
if you liked it, let us know. Let us know why you liked it, and
if anything, it's only good for the horror industry, like horror genre. More horror films out there.
It's not the worst. It wasn't the worst.
We seem like we're bashing it completely.
Yeah. There were parts I liked. I did like the Texas Chainsaw reference and like the first kill. I didn't mind it. that felt more like over the top, like silly, but it had a place. I kind of liked his relationship with Andy. I thought it was pretty good until like where it gets a bit iffy towards the end. But really liked the acting. I liked the chemistry between the two. We haven't mentioned the friends yet. I don't know if we want to because that's just another negative there. Didn't need them at all.
Mm.
I don't even know why they were there. It just they were weird. They were like, "Hey, they had the weirdest names. Was it? I'm Fallon, and this is Pug.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
You have a fucking
like I
toy."
remember there was like a review, and he's like, "You're trying to pull off Stranger Things or something like that." With
That's
like,
what it felt. Yeah, but it was like this whole
It's just
crew
not-
of these misfit kids, and I'm just like, these kids are shit.
Yeah, it's like it's not believable at
Get
all.
rid of them.
Yeah,
They introduce themselves in 2 seconds.
yeah.
They're like, "Hey, this is us, by the way. Here's our names.
Mm,
You have a toy that's weird. Let's mess around with it.
yeah,
We're friends now.
yeah.
I'm gonna come into your house and call you your name."
Like the friendship was so on and off. Like whenever they needed it, it was like, okay, let's put this in the narrative friendship.
Yeah,
Okay, let's take
they
it
just
out.
happened to rock up. Like they
Yeah.
just, it felt like they were sitting behind the camera waiting to be called into the show.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
it felt like. And the acting for them, the girl was okay.
The
They were
Chubby
just so
guy, yeah.
unlikable.
Yeah, he was so.
You know those memes you see of like the kids in the classrooms doing like, "Oh, we love Fortnite." That's what these kids were like, but
Yeah.
worse. It was just they were just so super unlikable. Pug was just every time he was on the screen, I wanted him to leave.
Yeah.
I don't want to
It's
bash
hard
the
to
guy,
watch.
the actor. I'm sure he could do maybe if he had a better role, if his writing was better, if his character had a bit more of a likable personality. I'm sure the actor will do fine. Just this character and that casting for them just felt really weird. I don't think they were really needed. I think I liked the idea of Andy being like a loner kid with this doll. It made more sense that he was like he really liked Chucky as a friend. And that's what I liked the most was his relationship with him for a bit.
I don't want to say like go into this film like I would say like for me, if I could tell myself something before watching, I'd say don't expect child's play.
Which is weird because the movie's called Child's Play.
Exactly, and I think that's when like a lot of people like quickly repeat myself, but a lot of people said like I think that's what damaged the film the most is because people went in with an expectation.
But
like
if they didn't if they called it something else and it was its own IP, it wouldn't have pulled any of the numbers that it's getting, and also people would just be like, "This is just Child's Play, but shit."
Yeah. So I think it was
at least they got the fans in the chairs.
Yeah, that's what I said to Adam. I said if this was not called Child's Play and this was just a story about it, I would just wait to DVD or something like that.
I wouldn't have seen it in cinemas. I would have just watched it.
So if you want a fun horror film just to watch,
let us know what you thought.
Joking. Go watch.
Let us know what you guys thought. If you liked it, let us know why. We definitely like to hear your opinions. Sure. And if you loved it and you've just listened to us talk shit about it for the past 20, 30 minutes, we apologize. We'll move on now.
Yeah, I'm going to tweet out your social medias and everyone can flame on you.
Go bash these fucking Child's Play haters.
No fun.
Cool. All right. So that's our opinion on Child's Play. We won't talk about it anymore because we've fucking dug into the grave. But there you go. Child's Play. I didn't give an actual. Oh no, I did. I said, what did I say? 5 out of 10.
Yeah, 5.
I was pretty happy because I took forever. Like I said, I took forever to come up with my own score. Then I came up with it, and then Stuckman came out with it a day after, and I like Stuckman's reviews. Eddie said the same exact thing. 6.5, B-. I'm a reviewer.
He's on the ball, mate. He's a critic.
I'm a critic.
He's a critic now.
I'm gonna be. I can't be a filmmaker. I'll be a critic.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. We'll move on to another topic that I wanted to bring up because I've been really excited for this movie. And I just found out when I was bringing the topics up that Jamie didn't even know what this movie was. Did you know what this was, Adam? This is the Midsommar.
Nope.
I only just found out like as soon as you mentioned it, like half an hour ago.
Yeah, there's this horror movie coming out called Midsommar. It's from I can't remember his name, Ari something. I'll quickly find it. because he needs all the praise he can get. Ari Aster, he's the director of Hereditary, which we really liked Hereditary. We mentioned it in our last podcast. If you want to hear our thoughts on the state of modern horror, you can go and watch episode 1. But he's really great. He's
super
Hereditary
unique.
is great. Yeah, really unique. And he's making a new movie called Midsommar that's coming out soon, I believe. It's coming out in August, 8th of August.
Exciting.
So in a couple of months. And I saw this article that was titled Midsommar's cast just sat in silence for 10 minutes after first seeing the horror movie. So this is the screening of their own film, and they didn't even know how to process it at the end. So that's probably a really good sign for a horror movie. Somebody, I'm not sure who said this. I'll try and find out. But Jack Rayner said, "We all laughed through the first 2/3 of the film at all the gallows humor, and then for the final third of the film, all of us were silent. When the credits rolled, there was no high five. You did an amazing job. Oh my God, you're so good in the film." It was just silence. All of us sat there with our heads in our hands. It was a good 10 minutes of not talking. And I thought this was a fairly loaded thing to say about your own film. But from the track record, the trailers I've seen, this movie looks really good. And speaking of, let's watch the trailer together because you guys haven't even seen it or know what it's. So I'll send the link.
It over.
Also, while we're getting this sorted, I hope you all enjoy our new layout. We've upgraded. We're watching the Code 3 podcast V2. We did some revamping, and hopefully you'll see our new reaction layout, as we're calling it. But in a second, when we get the clip up,
there it is. Should be coming up.
Let's have a look. Ugh.
Very nice. Well. All right, let's give this a watch.
Shot of quality's good. For some reason it says 720. That's freaking. I can count the pixels.
Yeah, mine did that too. I'm putting it to 1080. Yeah, that's good for me.
Yep.
All right. We all ready?
I'm good.
So this is this trailer came out I think a month ago. I think this is maybe the only trailer, or there might be another one, but I believe this is the latest one. So, all right. I'll count us down. 3, 2, 1, go.
I told you that I want to go to that festival in Sweden.
Oh, you said it.
And for those who don't know this movie as well, this should give a pretty good idea as well.
Look, I don't mind you going. I just wish you would have told me. That's all.
Dude, she needs a therapist. You've been wanting out of this stupid relationship for like a year now.
And don't forget about all of the beautiful Swedish women you'll meet in June.
Okay, guys.
That's not her again. Seriously?
Babe, what's happening? Danny.
I was so very sorry to hear about what happened.
I'm sorry.
I invited Danny to come to Sweden.
You know what she's been going through.
Christian says you've got this special week planned.
It's sort of a crazy festival. Special ceremonies and dressing up.
That sounds fun.
Unbelievable.
Welcome and happy midsummer. Skål!
What time
Cinematography looks so
9
good as
p.m.
well.
That can't be right. The sky is blue.
This is what 9 p.m. is like here.
How long have you two been together?
Just over 3.5 years.
4 years.
Really?
Yeah?
What do you think?
It's like another world.
Tomorrow's a big day.
Is it scary?
What is it?
It has special properties.
What am I going through?
We just need to acclimate.
I don't want to acclimate. I want to go.
Absolutely not.
What's happening? I don't know why you invited us.
That's why you look so guilty right now, because you know.
We only do this every 90 years. was most excited for you to come.
What?
Looks like my kind of film.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm
Hey.
surprised you hadn't seen any of
No.
this yet. But yeah, I can't remember when I saw the trailer for this, but I really loved Hereditary, and I wanted to see what this guy was doing next. So
Yeah.
I'm really keen to see this, and this trailer looks really good.
Oh my god.
And now this article as well. I'm super pumped to see it.
Yeah. I think for some reason I don't know why it was giving me the Wicker Man vibes.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, it's like the cult
Yeah,
I was
something
getting
like
like
that.
Apostle.
kind of aesthetic. Apostle, yeah.
But like, if I was in that position, I saw that, I'd be like, oh, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
It looks awesome though. It
That's so
definitely
good.
does have like some Hereditary vibes, like that mirror shot
Yeah.
with the dude in the background. I
And
love that
the
stuff.
score seems familiar as well.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
the plucking of the
Mm.
strings.
It's kind of getting like a Jordan Peele kind of.
Yeah,
vibe.
kind of. Yeah.
It's like
But it's a really cool premise.
Yeah, I
yeah,
like
and
it.
you just know with the director you're gonna get like proper unique like character building,
Mhm.
like music, just all of it.
And a lot of
And
just sudden twists and things that
yeah,
Oh
happen.
yeah. Well, yeah. If we're judging by this article, it seems like the third act is not unlike Hereditary. Is just going to be a holy shit. What are we
yeah,
what are we watching? Because Hereditary's like end was so
dude.
good.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it was just holy shit.
And
What
there
is
was a lot of
happening?
those moments where you sit and then you kind of just watch it, and then all of a sudden something happens, and you're just like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Like holy shit, what
Yeah.
happened? Yeah, it's great. He's really good
Yeah.
writer, really talented. Very excited for this movie.
Yeah.
We don't have much to say about it considering it's not out yet, but we'll definitely when it does come out, I imagine
Oh yeah, we'll see
we'll
that.
do a review and shit on it. So
Yeah.
I thought we would mention that real quick.
Yeah.
So there you go. Get pumped, boys, because it's gonna be dope.
Mm.
I'm keen.
In August, so you don't have to wait long.
Yeah, only like a month away.
Yeah.
I just realized we're at the end of June already. Holy crap.
Yep.
Yeah, time is flying.
So that's Midsummer.
Yeah.
Next, we had I saw an article that was about Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm.
Nightmare on Elm Street reunion? Question mark.
What?
To
I think
be
I actually saw
clickbaity
this.
as fuck, but what was the girl's name? What was the character's name?
Nancy.
Nancy. The actress Heather Langenkamp has commented on a possible thing, saying she would love to play Nancy again if they
Man.
gave her the opportunity. And I wanted to bring this up because I can't remember. Has Robert Englund commented at all about returning to the role,
I
or
think
he's
like
kind of vague about it?
ages ago, like he was briefly asked about it, and I think he said that he's hung it up and it's all done.
Hmm.
I think, or maybe it was like if someone has the right idea, he would come back. But I'm
Okay.
just assuming because of his age and everything like that, I doubt he would want to come back. I think he did he did like a sort of I was like, oh, where's Freddy Krueger? And then he did a thing like it was on a comedy show, I think, the Goldbergs or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Goldbergs.
Yeah, he did a short comedy skit, which is a bit upsetting. And obviously, like with his age and all, it did like his appearance was kind of different, but you know, the same
Yeah.
kind of personality was there. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it would be amazing to hear that if another one was happening, but I don't think it would have the same flair as the originals. Even though, like towards the end of all the Nightmare on Elm Street's films, it did get a bit weird,
Yeah.
with, like Dream Warrior and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, also Wes Craven, rest in peace, not around anymore.
That's true. Yeah. I
So
honestly have no idea who would even be behind it or
yeah,
helming
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting that she's kind of brought this up now in considering of how many remakes are being made and
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
like that.
100%.
Like, it seems like she's trying.
It would lend itself well to
Yeah.
be like, okay, let's make a reboot or something like that of Nightmare with like Child's Play and Halloween.
I feel if they did it, it would be like Halloween,
Yeah.
where it's kind of a revisiting.
Yeah. But I think
Um,
that's where it falls into the issue of Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees don't have a massive personality, don't have a face really. It's just slap someone in there
Yeah.
and act a certain way. Now you're Michael Myers. Where Chucky and Freddy, they have such unique and iconic personalities. It would be hard to replicate
Yeah.
that,
I
as we've
feel
seen.
I feel though like if they really wanted to and they really put a lot of effort into it, you could replicate it.
You
I
reckon?
feel like you could. Like I feel like you could. There is somebody out there that is going to be able to replicate it. Say, like for example, with it, I imagine
Yeah,
people had the same opinion with the Pennywise saying like you can't replicate it,
yeah,
but then Bill Skarsgård did it, and he added his own
amazing.
kind of flair to it,
Yeah.
and it's really good. And it was like, okay, he stands on his own.
Mm.
If there's somebody out there that could do, a respectful job of bringing the character to life again, and have it still be like really fresh, maybe a bit unique. That wasn't Jackie or Haley in the other remake.
I think that was written. I think he did all right, but it was just written.
Yeah, I love Jackie Earl Haley. I'm not dragging him. He's great.
Yeah, yeah.
But they went with the no personality horror more route,
Which did not
which
go down
is
well.
not good. And yeah, so
Yeah.
I think maybe if they tried it again, I wouldn't be opposed to them trying it again. Especially if they have maybe some of the original cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, even she said, I just found a quote from her commenting on it. She said, she's always felt like there's more of the story that could be told, but I don't know if there's anyone out there who is as imaginative as Wes Craven who could figure it out. So if this brilliant person exists who's got a really cool idea for it, then she'll be on board. I guess similar to maybe what Robert England said, but I feel like the more we wait, like the longer we wait, the less likely that's gonna be. So
I have, I don't want to say zero, but almost zero hope that I'll see another Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
I do think that there are people out there, 100%, that could pull it off, or I don't know, do something different, but still keep some of the character to it. But I
Yeah.
just think these days, I think if it's not like take Hereditary stuff, the director, its own like unique, his own ideas, where it's like this big franchise. Someone's just going to package it up and throw it out there and say, "This is Nightmare on Elm Street. Everyone go see it," and then just
Yeah.
end up being another generic kind of horror thing. So I'd love to see Nancy and Freddy Krueger back, but I have low hopes. And if it does come out, it'll probably end up like Child's Play.
Probably.
Yeah.
I feel like as well with this is she's just commenting on it now, considering it's the age of all of these reboot stuff. Like, some of them are not doing good though. Like you get, you liked Halloween, yeah?
I loved it.
I don't remember how that was received. Like,
I think Adam, do you like it?
I thought it did good for what it was meant to be, but it's just I don't think it's my type of film anymore. Like I want like like my favorite slashers are the ones with character. So I don't know. There's always been that. So they did a good job of keeping it original, and to the original. But for me personally, it just Jamie's giving me the eyeball, but
I know.
but yeah,
He's
it just
posting
wasn't
a Twitter thing.
Yeah, it just wasn't my. I just wanted more from it, and I didn't get more. I got the same.
It wasn't really a standout for me either. I kind of saw it and thought, meh. There it is. I was more hyped with the all of like the trailers and stuff made it look a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion. But going back to my point was that I don't know how that was received though, critically and stuff. Did people seem to like it?
Halloween.
I think I got average reviews.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll look at it.
Because like it's probably the one that's been the most standout remake that's been good. Like that is actually being received really well. And I think from that is coming better remakes. Kind of, they're better than what they were. Like what was it? Yeah, like the 2010, the Nightmare on Elm Street one with Jackie O'Haley? Or
Yeah, somewhere around
29
there.
or
Yeah.
2009 or something. But that one was like just crap.
Oh, yeah, that was terrible.
That was like really bad. So at least
Yeah.
at least we're in the one. It's kind of like the one step forward
Mm.
and
I
two
think,
steps
like,
back kind of thing.
how I was seeing Halloween, just like briefly go back on that. Halloween, to me, I felt like I was expecting the same thing I expected with the Friday the 13th remake, where it just continues on with the same concept and just executes it well. Like Friday the 13th remake was great. There was awesome kills.
Was that the one with the fuck, what was it?
like
The dock scene where there's like a dock and she's underneath the water and he like puts the sword through the crack, the machete through the crack.
Yeah.
And he has like that movie is so stupid. But it was just like I didn't mind it.
It kept the same. Like Friday the 13th were never that amazing.
No,
like
yeah.
the first one was just a unique idea, and then they just shot off from there. But
I liked the like, I guess the themes in the original one, like the
yeah,
being really like the sexual thing that he didn't like. I thought it added like at least some sort of character to characterless killer. But I don't think it would really. I don't think you could really make that again.
Yeah, and I don't think like Halloween. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't think it could work now. Because
I reckon that you could make some really cool visuals with it.
Yeah,
but that's really to the extent that it would be.
Yeah, I think Nancy as a character would be like a cameo of a brand new like reboot of it. She wouldn't be like
it would be the best thing to do. Yeah.
But yeah, we can hope. Maybe you'll see something, but I doubt it.
Yeah. Fair enough. Figure would bring that up considering we're in the age of reboots and how relevant they are now. So, speaking of reboots, though, Hellboy reboot not getting a sequel.
Yeah.
Not likely. Are we surprised?
Well, just to stay, I haven't seen it yet.
Well, I've seen it and I love Hellboy a lot. I've read all of the graphic novels. I love it. I love the original 2 movies. I liked this movie. Unpopular opinion, I really liked this movie because it was just fanfare. It was a pretty shit, just mess of a movie, but it was clearly made for people who knew what the graphic novels were. Unlike Del Toro, who was just making really, really good movies, which isn't bad at all, and his movies are obviously better. And they're just, but
I think
don't know.
Right now it's sitting on a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Is it?
Yep.
Holy shit! If you haven't read Hellboy, I'm not surprised because
was it fun though?
I
always assume that it's just a good bit of fun to watch.
Yeah, it's
I'm
awesome.
not expecting like
the
some
gore
sort
is
of diverse.
amazing.
Yeah, I was never expecting like immense like story and everything. I was just expecting a bit of fun.
Yeah, it pretty much takes story elements from every single graphic novel and tries to just intertwine them all. So there's just like it pretty much goes from one scene that's a reference to another scene, which is a reference to another scene until some sort of story is told from start to finish. It just does a lot very quickly and has a lot of references to already established characters that they never introduce in this movie. They just assume you know who they are, which was fine for me because I knew who they were. Like Lobster Johnson, which was just amazing, dude. Lobster Johnson, dude. Best part of this movie. He's just great. But no one cares about Lobster Johnson if you're just a normal fucking movie watcher and you're not going to follow this movie at all. I saw it with a bunch of friends, and because they all knew that I knew what Hellboy was and liked Hellboy, they at the end just looked at me and was like, "Okay, so what happened? What was that? What did I just watch?" Because I came out and I was like, "Holy shit, that was really cool." I'm really sad that we're not getting a third Del Toro. We should have. We really should have. It would have just been 10 times better. But I'm being the optimist with this and saying at least we got something that's
Mm.
something's better than nothing, at least for me. So it wasn't the worst thing in the world, and I don't know why I was getting bashed so much saying it was like the worst movie. Like it had some really cool visuals. Like it was
Yeah,
pretty
going
visually
off it,
like creative.
I didn't expect it to get 17%.
Yeah,
I don't think it
yeah.
deserves really
I don't think so
17%.
either.
That is quite low. And
Yeah.
how did I can't remember the guy's name, David Harbour? How do you do
David
compared
Harbour was
to
fine.
Ron Perlman?
He was fine. Ron Perlman's better,
Mm.
but he's not far behind in my opinion.
Yeah.
He did carry like he did. It seemed like he put a lot of effort into it.
Mm.
It seemed like he's a fan of the original two movies, so he knew like going into it, it's going to be hard to beat Ron Perlman. I
Yeah.
don't think it seemed like he went in assuming he can't beat Ron Perlman and just trying to make trying to have fun with it and just
Yeah.
be the
Throw his own
best
bit of flair into it.
Hellboy he can be.
Mm.
That's what it seemed like he was doing. It seemed like he had fun. Like most
Yeah.
of the cast seemed like they were having a good time, so I respected that part of it. I like Dan Harbour, so David Harbour. I mean Dan. What the fuck?
Dan.
I like David Harbour, so I didn't dislike his Hellboy.
Oh.
But yeah,
But we may not get a sequel.
we'll never see him again. It budget was 50 million. Box office made 46 million.
Ripped it.
You're done now.
Yeah, that's it.
Ain't making no profit.
they
You cut.
Thrown in
Nah.
the bin.
On the box office, they lost $4 million. So it's just
Damn.
inevitably we're never seeing Hellboy ever again unless they give Del Toro back the reins, which they
Ugh.
didn't the first time. So I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't know why they didn't. I don't know why people were surprised by this, but I'm kind of sad because it was going to be they were hinting to Abe Sapien at the end of this one because
Yeah.
Abe Sapien's not in. If you're not familiar with how Fish Guy,
Yeah.
original ones, just to clarify for anyone watching that doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about. But they hinted to his storyline at the end of this one, and we will never see that. So
Damn.
kind of sad. I'm kind of sad we won't see any more Hellboys, but we now have 3 movies? Question mark. Two and a half. I don't know
They
what
gave
to
it a
call
go.
2.5. 2.5 Hellboy movies. If you really like Hellboy and you want more, just read the graphic novels because that's the best thing. The best ones. Rip Hellboy though. Can we get a rip Hellboy in the chat? Live Hellboy.
Live Hellboy.
live Hellboy. But yeah, that's a Hellboy sequel's dead in the water. Yeah, we'll move on to our last topic. I think. I don't know what are we sitting at for time wise.
Been live for 1 hour and 8 minutes. 9 minutes now.
Okay, cool. So this is our last topic, and it's one that Jamie brought up, which was is Del Toro producing this, directing this? It's Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. A new trailer dropped.
He's not director. I think he may be producer.
Okay, that's right. Because the director's thoughts on anthology stuff. We'll go into that. Did you want to watch the trailer first, and then?
Yeah, let's watch the trailer first, and then let's go into it. Wow. So hold on. Let me send it through. Un momento.
Don't have these things ready, Jimmy.
I thought I sent it in the chat, but cool. So it's sent.
What's that?
So yeah, I'm quite excited. Always when I hear about horror stuff, it excites me, and I'll go into it a bit more. But it's not exactly what I thought it would be. Reading into it. And
okay.
We'll go into that once we watch the trailer.
I don't really know much about it other than Del Toro's producing, and it's a series. It's an anthology movie or something. Do you know anything else, Adam?
No.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's get ready. I'm ready.
Yeah. All right. So everyone in?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
What's that?
It's her book of scary stories.
What the fuck was that?
Some people believe if we repeat stories often enough, they become real. They make us who we are. That can be scary.
Eat it, Harold. Eat it.
Is that what he said?
Eat it, Harold, or something. I don't know. Yeah.
House?
Some kids went missing, so they boarded it up.
Okay, we saw it. Should we go now?
Who ordered the chicken?
Who ordered the chicken? What the fuck?
I said.
What's that?
It's a book of scary stories. Tell me a story. Hey, what's going on?
Tommy's missing.
Tommy's name was in the book. There's no way it's actually connected, right? Okay, what if what happens in the book is exactly what's happened for real? Oh my god. Aggie!
Stella!
Listen, you're in the next story. We're reading it right here.
It's a corpse looking for her missing toe.
Sick. My toe.
Oh, Jesus. My toe, is that what it said?
Yeah.
I'm afraid that we woke something up.
You shouldn't have taken the book.
We've got to stop it.
Ew.
What
is that one?
Sarah Bellows' book, where the stories write themselves and it all comes alive.
Oh.
The Jangling Man is coming.
Holy shit. The Jangling Man.
It's good. Yeah, so produced by Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, yeah.
But-
I think screenplay, I think I just said, or he might have written it.
It said when it said directed, it had the other director Andre, and then it showed and Guillermo del Toro. So I'm confused. Is it both of them? I didn't really read too much into it. I kind of thought it'd be a cool topic to talk about, but
Says writing credit directed by Andre. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his last name. Writing credits is Dan and Kevin Hageman, and also Del Toro.
Okay.
And then I think it's based on some real stories because there's 3 other people are credited, but it's for their stories and for a novel. So I assume it merges them all together into the one screenplay.
Watching that trailer it definitely gets me excited about this compared to others, just because Guillermo del Toro, it does definitely give that vibe of the full body sculpt monsters and a lot of practical effects.
I wonder if Doug Jones is in this. I'm going to see.
I definitely dig that. I think I love the whole anthology kind of thing with just these like weird scenarios. The missing toe.
Let me get into that.
Hold on, sir. Let me have my damn opinion. I feel like if I was to if I was a good writer, I would probably make up silly things like that are kind of fun, like the missing toe, and then, yeah.
To be fair, not unlike the short films we currently have.
Yeah, I was gonna say that as well. It's like it's kind of like what we want to do with the channel, make these cool little concepts, and they've put it all into one.
So yeah, very cool indeed. That trailer looks really good too. All the monsters, practical stuff looks really good. So what's the
So the
twist?
director, if you don't know who he is, he directed the Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Jane, okay.
Which fantastic. I loved it.
Alright.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I didn't mind it.
I think that the ending really got me.
The ending
fantastic.
The ending was
fantastic.
good.
I really enjoyed it.
I liked it. I didn't. I enjoyed it.
It
as
wasn't
well.
bad. It's just it had a lot of those typical horror problems that we won't go into the review of it.
Yeah. But I've kind of got a quote from him. So he was interviewed about it, recent interview about scary stories, and he said he's not actually a big fan of anthologies, and that this is not an anthology series. Dun dun. Even though the book,
Screw himself.
is written like stories, scary stories telling the dark. It's not actually an anthology. So he said, quoted, I'm not such a big fan of anthologies," he said in an interview. Basically, you dip up and down too much. You don't really have a cohesive, unfulfilled goal.
It just seems off the trailer like you've got an anthology and then you put it into one narrative.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with the book. It all connects to the
Yeah.
book. But he said, I saw the cover of the script and I thought, oh, this must be an anthology. But it wasn't. And I was very happy about that. I wanted to structure a big tale. So he didn't like the idea of chopping it up into different stories because it's not cohesive. There's no proper goal. So it's actually not written to be an anthology, which I thought was quite interesting.
Funny though is that he says that, considering we just recently got the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, which was a anthology and also featured very well written goals. So maybe it's not an anthology problem.
Snap.
Dot.
Whoa.
Not to drag this guy because he seems like a really good director. I'm really excited for this movie. So
it seems like I'm trying to think about like the quote where it says he doesn't like anthologies because it dips up and down too much. You don't have a cohesive like goal or story. But I think like anthologies, especially with the book, going off the book, it's all based like stories. So I think this could have worked easily as an anthology. And yeah, I don't know. I thought it was weird to make it into one big thing. I thought
I like it. I like the idea though.
Like, I'm not sure if you guys have seen the Twilight Zone, Jordan Peele's one,
I haven't yet,
but I've seen a few episodes and that works like an anthology and it's amazing. Like I really
yeah,
like
Black
Jordan
Mirror
Peele's.
too.
Yeah, exactly. Black Mirror and that one that came out on Netflix, all the like the weird,
Love,
Death Robot.
Love, Death and Robots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that stuff. So anthologies, if anything, they're quite popular right now.
And they're quite good often as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because they're short stories that people can quickly get into.
Tell in the dark.
Exactly.
I watched it in the dark.
I was a bit sad to see that it was an anthology because I really like anthologies. I think they're short, punchy narratives that stick with people.
The early advertising made it seem like that's what it was. That's at least what I thought it was.
Yeah, same. I did a bit of research and all of a sudden you started talking about how you didn't like them and then it's not it. And I was like, oh, okay, sweet.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But,
that's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's definitely one of those things that I'm super excited about. And I forgot that it was in August. So it seems like we're getting quite a bit of horror in August, which is great.
That is cool. Midsommar and Scary Stories. So
yeah.
Good month.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought I'd just quickly share that kind of stuff and give you guys a reaction on the show.
Thanks for sharing that.
Is it a movie?
No, it's a TV show.
Oh, is it? What the fuck?
I'm not sure where exactly.
No, I swear it's a movie.
Is it?
Pretty sure it's a movie.
No.
Yeah.
It looked like a movie to me.
It looked like a movie.
It'd also be a bit weird to be bashing on anthologies and then making a TV show.
It's a movie.
Okay, yeah. Jesus. Okay, if it's a feature film, like if it's coming out in cinema, then I can totally understand. But it's not an anthology because that would make no sense. But I thought it was a TV show.
Right.
So, okay, yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing an anthology movie in cinemas, to be honest.
That'd be
I would have loved to have seen Buster Scruggs in cinemas.
Yeah.
I doubt any production house would give it enough budget to go to cinemas besides like the indie ones like Netflix and stuff, which they wouldn't get at the cinemas. So I don't know. I feel like I don't know how well they would do. Probably not well, but for just the average audience. But
yeah,
I don't know. I think maybe getting them on Netflix and stuff like that, which is a general consumer market. If we can get that audience to be really into these like indie sort of movies and anthology stuff, like break away from the typical movie you might see in cinema, then if we keep doing that for a while, maybe it will eventually be something that people will go see in cinemas and more producers will make them for cinemas and we'll start getting a bit more of a variety in that aspect. I reckon that'd be cool. But yeah.
I really thought for a while it was on some sort of television thing. But even in the comments, the second most popular comment is a Netflix series with an episode per story would have been dope.
It would have, yeah.
Yeah, totally agree with.
You know what you could have done too? had the same idea where it's an anthology within a movie, but broken it into episodes and had it like, say, Haunting of Hill House, where it jumps around a bit, but we always are connected to the same characters. So we get that story, and it's being told while the overall story with these kids that found this book and are trying to solve this is being told as well. So like with Haunting of Hill House, they jumped between their adult lives and like their adult characters and how they are with their childhood, and then linked all the horror stuff with that. They could have done the same thing here and had it as a Netflix show, and I reckon that would have worked really well as well. But I'm still keen for it. I reckon it's a really cool idea. Del Toro's giving it the thumbs up, so if he's greenlighting it, I'm sure it's going to be pretty good. So I trust the heads of this, and it should be a fun watch regardless.
Yeah, screenplay made by Guillermo, Kevin, and Dan Hageman. So I can only expect great things, especially from the trailer that I saw. It looked amazing. Big tings. So yeah, that's our thoughts on that.
Yeah, and that's all the topics we had for this evening. We hope you enjoyed. We hope you had a good time. Hope you learnt something new. Go watch Child's Play and let us know what you thought. Midsummer's coming out in August. Scary Stories coming out in August. Get pumped, everyone. Get excited. Horror's on the rise again.
Yes.
Rise
up, horror fans.
And hashtag rip Hellboy. Live Hellboy.
We're losing people here. We're losing Hellboy. We're losing Swampo.
Swampo's out. Hellboy's out.
Yeah. So.
Jeez. Before we go, just quickly keep a reminder to keep lookout on our social medias and stuff like that for our new short film called Parasomnia. It's really cool.
The usernames are on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, and I think we're just at Code 3 Films for most of our stuff. So give those a follow. Keep up to date with all of our stuff. We're not sure when this is going to come out yet, right? We haven't really scheduled for a release date, but when the second we know, we'll let you all know. But I'm pretty excited for it. What we shot looks pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, we'll have some stuff out. We'll have some updates out on that soon. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. It's been fun.
Please like and subscribe.
Please subscribe. Please like, comment, all that cool stuff that everyone does. And we'll see you in 2 weeks for another episode of the Code 3 podcast. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We love you.
Love
Good
you.
night. That's a Code 3. Good night.